guys, Steve here, Wilderness 333, and I want to do a video, another one about these sweaters. These are the U.S. military 100% wool sweaters. I showed you that I found a couple of these the other day, and just talked about how great they are in the outdoors. Keep you warm. They do well when they're wet. They do well around the fire, or better than polyester. Anyways, when you find these, a lot of times I said that they can be really small, and I found this one yesterday, and it's a large. It's a 42, 44, and it should fit me really, really well because I'm like a 39. But I want to show you. I want to show you this. When I put it on, and I'm going to show you, I think, how to fix this. Remember, this should fit me big. I can barely get it over my head. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Whew. Can hardly breathe. It's like wearing a girdle. And you know what I think happened? I'm almost positive. They stuck this, they washed it and stuck it in the dryer. You cannot put wool in the dryer. It'll shrink up like crazy. It's just one of those things you can't do. You can put merino wool in the, often in the dryer and it'll be okay, but not, geez, this thing is tight. So, I think I'm going to try, I bought this even though it didn't fit, because I'm going to try to fix it. I'm going to try to get this wet and stretch it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a bucket or a tub of lukewarm water with some conditioner, some hair conditioner, and that's going to loosen up the fibers, and once it's out I'm going to stretch it out and see if I can't get this back to size. I had a comment on my last video that it had happened to somebody that it accidentally got in the dryer. And also, if you find these in the stores, a lot of times they're way too small because somebody shrank it, they didn't know what to do with it, so they gave it away. Now it can be yours for cheap, and if you can fix it, you're set. So stick with me and we're going to try to fix this. Watch me try to get it off though. It's so tight. Oh geez, tearing it. Okay, let's see if we can get this fixed. So we're going to get this started, and I'm going to use my sink today. I've filled it up with water. You could use a bucket, that would be fine. Bathtub would be fine. I'd prefer a smaller place since you don't have to use as much water, but you want your water to be lukewarm, either hot or cold. And what we're going to put in it is some, simply some conditioner. You might be surprised to know this, but I don't use conditioner. We're just going to grab this from the shower. We're going to put maybe a couple tablespoons in there, and you sort of have to try to mix it up. It might clump up a little bit. We can just rub that. We can just rub that in once we get it in there. I'm going to add a little bit more just to make sure. Once you get that mixed in as well as you can, now you're going to add it. Now what that conditioner does is it gets into the fibers. You want to get into the fibers of the wool, and it helps loosen it up. You can also use baby shampoo, but not everybody has that. Most people have conditioner. So we're just going to put this in here and kind of let it sink. Well, I'm just going to douse it here. You kind of want to work it around and make sure as much as you can that the conditioner is getting rubbed into the blanket, and you can, or to the wool. You can kind of feel it. You're kind of rubbing it in. And get that done. Work it in as well as you want. And now you're going to let it set for 20 to 30 minutes. And basically, I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to stretch it out, and then I'm going to repeat the process with normal water to rinse it out. So we're going to let it sit. We'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so this has been soaking about 25-30 minutes. I'm going to drain the water, and then we'll have our sweater. And what you don't want to do is sort of wring this out. If you wring it out, you can really kind of wrinkle it bad and sort of mess up its shape because it is kind of in a fragile state of mind. So you can kind of work some of the water out. It's just you don't want to do the whole deal where you're twisting it or anything. So this sweater is nice and wet. I've got it laid out. Now it's time to stretch it out. So I'm just going to start giving it some pulls, and you can feel that conditioner in there. Now the arms were long enough, they're not going to need to be a ton longer. You kind of want to try it on first and see where it needs to get stretched. So we're going to stretch the crap out of it. Don't do it so much that you hear it tear. But those shoulders really needed it, if you remember. I think what I want to do, I've seen this done, so you could stretch it out and put something on it. And these weights. You can also pin it down if you're in a spot that might work. I don't want to pin into this table, so I'm not going to do that. I think I can get some more. Look at that. Nice and big. Nice and big. Okay, so as you can see, man, I don't know, that weights was a last second addition, but I've got that all stretched out. I've got it, it'll stay stretched out because of the weights. And now we're just going to let it dry. So that might take a while, but we're going to let it dry. And we'll see how it fits after that. And then we'll rinse it once and be done. So we'll be right back. Alright, so we've got this all dried out. This actually took, without wringing it out like you do in a washer, since I just sort of laid it out, this took about 36 hours to dry. So it takes a long time to dry. Let's give it a shot. I can already tell it's a lot different. Just sliding it on, it's a lot easier to get over my head. Alright, so there it is. Oh man, much better, much better. It's still a little tight, for sure. This isn't a large anymore still. It went from being like an extra small to maybe a medium, but this fits. This thing was really hard to get on yesterday. It was real tight through here, but it's doing good. Now I haven't washed this again, and so technically it would still have the conditioner in it, but I think I'm going to let that be. It doesn't feel bad or anything. I'm just going to wear it. Weather's getting bad, so I might get to give it a try tomorrow. But look, this is totally good. It's nice and loose. It didn't get huge. It's not the cure-all, but if you've shrunk a wool sweater, you can try these methods, and I think you'll be able to get some size back into what you'd like. So there you go. We've got it. It worked, and it's a way to get your wool sweater back. Thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful. See you again soon.